Alright, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back, and it is time for another one of these AlphaStar videos. Today we have Alpha T in the top left, AlphaStar's Terran. Going to be one of the mid iterations again, so not the best of the best, not the worst AlphaStar. This iteration is pretty unique compared to the others as well, so should be a fun watch. And taking on Alpha Terran is Diamond Player. Now, taking on AlphaStar's mid-iteration seems to be quite a tall order for someone who is not like a GM player, to be honest. The mid-iteration is quite well refined, and yeah, the mid-iteration is quite well refined, and is basically flawless for the most part. It doesn't make nearly as many derps as the lower iterations, and yeah, so a Diamond player to catch this one off guard I think would be quite tough to do, but we shall see. We'll see if it's possible or not. Just as AlphaStar going to be saturating up that gas. Probe is going to head on in for the Diamond player, going to say, hey, look at that gateway, or look at that barracks, and try and take out all its hatred of life on that one SCV. The probe ends up getting pushed away by those drilly boys, though, and sent packing. Looks like it will be that Reaper expand for AlphaStar. Cyber Core Nexus on the way for the Diamond player. We have normal openings on both sides of the coin. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy these kind of videos, make sure to slap that like button. Seeing as how AlphaStar's command center has halted building at 2 seconds, let's try and hit 2 likes on this video. I expected it to be further done than that, but you know, that's just the way she goes. And of course, if you're new to the channel, slap that subscribe button. I'm not sure as well, depending on the time this video is going up, but there is going to be a viewer tournament going up for Falcon Paladin and I that will be getting played on May 9th, so you can register for that, possibly. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. And now getting back to the game, we have a very quick robo from the Diamond player, going to be playing that seemingly defensive style, which I do find quite curious what this player is going to do with the robo. AlphaStar heads in with the Reaper. Hasn't actually seen the robo yet, so good scout denial by the Diamond player, good building placement. This wall essentially made it so that the Reaper couldn't easily path to the other side, ring around the mineral line. So actually quite a good job by the Diamond player. As I say that, he could be about to lose a probe to the Reaper, and then the robo's going to get spotted anyway. But you know, that's just the way she goes. And oh, apparently the Reaper can actually slip behind the back there. Pardon me. The Reaper is going to get yet another probe. This is starting to look a little bit ugly. Oh no. Will the Reaper escape? Yes, it will. Maybe not. AlphaStar could have got that Reaper out, I feel. Instead it let it die, so a few derps on both sides. Looks like an Observer is getting chrono boosted out pretty quick for the Diamond player. The Reaper died. It got the scout, it got 2 probes, so that's not bad at all for AlphaStar. The Diamond player is going to need to be cooking something up, and it looks like it's going to be 3 gateways already, which is quite a high amount of gateways for this early on in the game. Yeah, just off of 2 gases going to be moving out on the map. Makes me wonder if there's going to be a prism after these few observers to maybe put a bit of pressure on to the Diamond player's opponents. As going for double observer, 3 gateway seems like a bit of an odd play. Maybe we'll just see a 3rd base get thrown up. I'm not sure. But there we go. Another observer on the way out. Or another observer finished up. So there's actually 3 observers for the Diamond players. So wanting to see everything. And we'll actually spot the fact that AlphaStar is going to be going for the Cloak Banshee, which is a nice scout. This can allow the Diamond player to potentially throw up shield batteries, which would be so good when it comes to trying to shut down Banshees, because, oh man, I've seen what happens when players don't have their observers or stalkers into position against the Banshees of AlphaStar, and so I would really like to see this Diamond player just toss up a couple shield batteries. I know he's probably thinking that he's the shit, basically, but Having to deal with one of AlphaStar's Banshees is not easy, so I'm a little bit worried that even though that this Diamond player knows that the Banshee's coming, that AlphaStar is just going to keep rallying these out and effectively just dump all over the Diamond player. The first Banshee's crossing the map. It'll have cloaked done in just a second. Does get turned around by the Stalkers right away, so a good start for the Diamond player. I'm just concerned when, say, the second or the third Banshee starts to come out. That's when things will get a little bit messy. That's when the Diamond player won't quite be in position. However, maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe this Diamond player is going to have a clutch defense because he's a very defensive Protoss player. But I won't hold my breath because AlphaStar's Banshees seemingly have a knack just to get so much damage done. I do like what the Diamond player is doing behind this. Getting up the Forge, the Twilight Council, the Colossus Extended Thermal Lance. This kind of build would be a little bit aggressive, would be a little bit vulnerable to a Terran push of, say, like siege tanks and tons of Marines. So far, we're not there yet, though. We see this Banshee gets pushed away, actually gets killed. So for all this talk I've given the Banshees of AlphaStar, the Diamond player getting that Banshee actually spells quite well for him later in the game. And oh my gosh, AlphaStar, Alpha derping hard, loses yet another Banshee. That is not what we want to see from AlphaStar. Looks like the AI is going to start moving out on the map, though, potentially, with these siege tanks, with all these Marines, a bit of a push to try and hurt the Diamond player quite significantly. This is no light push. This is the full carb push we're seeing right now, moving across the map. And I'm not sure if the Diamond player is going to be able to do anything. One Colossus, I believe, is already out. There's going to be a second one, probably out by the time this push hits. But oh, look at this. AlphaStar going for a hidden base this match. I dig it. AlphaStar sometimes throws these out. It's a little bit odd, and it may or may not rally workers to completely give this away, but who knows? Looks like these Marines and siege tanks working away on these Stalkers a little bit. A lot of Stalkers get hurt. The siege tanks on the low ground are going to cover this army. Once the Colossus join up with this, I feel that the Diamond player should be able to clean this up, though. We see AlphaStar starting to retreat. Mining at the third base is still being disrupted, and this base is taking a lot of fire from these Marines. Looks like the Diamond player is going to try to shut this down, but he runs his probes into the siege tanks. They're buffering a little bit, but they will like all die to that. Looks like the siege tanks on the high ground going to start working away on the Colossus. The Colossus on the high ground wouldn't actually be seen by those tanks, but they'd go onto the low ground and actually get kind of killed off. One of them survives, but the other is dead. The Diamond player just lost most of his supply. He's floating 1,200 minerals, floating a lot of resources. Charge is done, so these siege tanks should be able to be cleaned up quite easily by the Diamond player. But AlphaStar is in a very good spot this game, and I'm kind of concerned that this is going to go like a lot of the other AlphaStar games that we've seen. The Nexus, it's spark and electricity. It's a little bit bruised and battered. Doesn't look very safe. AlphaStar, because it's AlphaStar, is now just starting up Stimpack, whereas 1-1 is almost done. Hyperflight Rotors is on the way, so AlphaStar, of course, going to keep making Banshees. A scan even gets used by AlphaStar to shell away those Zealots and Stalkers. I feel like the Diamond player should clean up these siege tanks. Doesn't really get better than having 3 siege tanks exposed when you have charge lots, as charge lots are very good against siege tanks. So I'd like to see those get shut down. Looks like the Diamond player is going to do it. There we go, sending in the charge lots, going to clean up those tanks. Easy peasy. Zealots just wreck siege tanks. Looks like a speedy Banshee going to head towards the natural of the Diamond player. The Diamond player has 3 observers, but no units in position to help with this. Stalkers are coming in, but man, the Diamond player is already down to 40 workers, which is not good. The Banshee will go down, but yeah, this is disastrous. Not good at all. The Diamond player, in theory, I think should have seen those SCVs transferring, but hasn't gone looking for that base yet. So that's just something to keep in mind. Hyperflight Rotor is on the way. Psystorm is on the way for the Diamond player. I mean, if you're going to fight with lower supplies, Psystorm is the way to do it. I do dig the Psystorm. Looks like this Banshee gonna come in towards the third base. No pylon to quickly warp in Stalkers as a reaction. These Stalkers are just gonna have to come react to this third base location, but there's no observer with this army. This High Templar could potentially be picked off. Yes, it will not. So it'll actually live, which I guess is alright. Except it's probably gonna run back towards the mouth of that Banshee. Yes, it does. An observer does finally come in. Stalkers get warped in on the high ground, but there's no blink for them. And all the Stalkers were kind of just chilling in the main base. This is just not looking pretty. This is the opposite of pretty. This is a fugly game of Starcraft 2 we're seeing right now. All the while, AlphaStar, like a boss, is just rocking a planetary as the fourth. Because even though it's at its third base location, there's the hidden third up here. Starports are on the way. This makes me wonder if it's going to be more Banshees or what we'll be seeing. AlphaStar doesn't ever go for that many air units. The Banshee's going to come in. It's going to start hitting the natural base once again. And this Diamond player is just hating life. AlphaStar playing with his food right now. Although we are going to see a big push coming out for AlphaStar. This is a lot of bio crossing the map. There's the Colossus and Zealots. They're going to force the stim, but if the tanks get on those Stalkers, and they do, it'll be bad. The Colossus run away, but there's no Psystorm yet. There is one High Templar at the minute, so it's going to have to be the Storm of the Ages, the Storm of the Century. It would have all the news networks freaking out, telling you how the world is going to end. That's how big of a storm this Diamond player needs. Looks like the Banshee gets out as well, just being further more of a pain. And yeah, this isn't looking too hot for the Diamond player. I'd like to see some of this gas get burned into more High Templar, because you need a lot of Psystorm or Archons. Both are good in this situation. But yeah, I am maximum concern for the Diamond player. AlphaStar kind of just wrecking this nerd, to be honest, so far. Like, SCV's even going to start transferring away from the space. I'm not sure what that's for. I guess they're just going to... That is actually quite curious, why AlphaStar would transfer away from this fourth base. That's a curious decision, why the AI would do this. All these SCVs going to run towards this new fourth location. Throw up some structures, I guess. AlphaStar moving in with a small chunk of its units, going to be hitting the natural base of the Diamond player. The Diamond player who finally built a cannon, by the way, to help defend against those Banshees. I dig it. There's a lot of High Templar on the ground, so we could see some good Psystorms. Army supply is only 30 different, which isn't too terrible for the Protoss player. AlphaStar behind this is going to be getting +3 armor. Starting to build battle cruisers. There we go. I didn't want to speak too soon. I didn't want to jinx it. But we are going to see some Alpha cruisers this game. The Diamond player morphing in more Archons. Psystorm's his own army. Yeah, that ain't it, dude. That's not what you want to do. Keeping his troops in line. That stock is like, holy shit, man. The army kind of moved commands into the turrets that AlphaStar was building. We'll push that back. Looks like 1 or 2 Zealots out on the map are going to be hitting this location. AlphaStar goes for the double PF, because why not? We'll see if the Diamond player is going to be able to push into this tank line. He's going for it. Zealots eating a lot of the shots. Stalkers pushing forward. I mean, this isn't looking too bad so far for the Diamond player. Most of his buffer is gone. He's still got Archons, though. And he has cleaned out most of the siege tanks. So getting those alone was about as good as it gets. Looks like the Diamond player pushing forward, tossing down Psystorm. The Colossus are dead, so there's not a lot else going for the Diamond player. Some Psystorms could be dropped. Looks like they will. But seeing as how he's now right next to a planetary fortress that completed, that definitely ain't it. And it looks like we had a battle cruiser come out, but it won't be used by AlphaStar. Sad days indeed, as the Diamond player just gets wrecked. Okie dokie, we got ourselves a bit of a mystery for this match. In the bottom right, we have unranked Zerg going to be trying to take on AlphaStar, so I don't know what to expect, which is kind of exciting. And then there's the Alpha Protoss returning Alpha P, Alpha Toss. Now, Yeah, AlphaStar's PvZ can be pretty brutal, so we'll see how well this Diamond player, or unranked player, I don't know why I called him Diamond, what this unranked player can do. As, yeah, like, AlphaStar has just massacred so many players, just with, like, opening with Adepts, Oracle, then going for DTs. Like, just the Adepts alone have probably ended, like, the past 5 ZVPs on this channel, or something insane like that. So, we'll see if that's going to be the case one more, whether a Zerg will be able to fend it off or not, or whether we'll see something completely different. The only way to find out is to watch. The map is Cyber Forest, but I'm currently not seeing a lot of cyberness on this forest. I guess there's the cyberness down there. There's like little biodomes and stuff. But for all we know, this entire forest, everything we're looking at, could be in like a cyber forest. I don't know. Who knows what the reasoning is behind this? That's kind of cool though, whatever those are. One can only imagine, maybe something that helps plants grow up there. I haven't talked about the Starcraft, just about the map yet. That's because things are normal. We've got ourselves a third base going to be on the way very quickly for the unranked player. AlphaStar just getting the Nexus, Cybercore on the way. Everything is normal. Let's pull up the APM of the unranked player. It looks like it is currently 300, 2 to 300 with an average of 125. So not exactly Speedy Gonzalez, but then again, if we look at AlphaStar's APM for this iteration, it's not cruising super high. It's like 100. Yeah, it's averaging 100 APM. That APM will drop down, but then it'll spike up. So that's kind of exciting to see. One Adept out, another being chrono boosted across the map. This is where the Adept shenanigans begins from AlphaStar. Looks like we have got Ling Speed on the way for the unranked player. Not mining it, or not mining much more gas. Looks like he's just got one drone in gas still. Queen gonna have to try and shoo that Adept away. The Adept will shade toward the main base. The shade cancels though. Another Queen on the way for the unranked player, just making more drones. There's the 2 Adepts, so this is where things could get a little dicey for the unranked player. There's a Queen up at the front, but 2 Adepts suddenly shading into your base is not what you want. There's 4 Lings out. The drones are running from the natural. They're going to turn around as the shade goes into the main, but oh my gosh, there's nothing to react to this in the main. This channel may as well literally just be the AlphaStar kills drones with several Adepts channel. Oh my gosh. These Adepts just killing more and more drones every single video. 4 drones dead so far. I'm actually just loving how AlphaStar is just wrecking everyone by moving across the map with 2 Adepts. A 3rd Adept, a new challenger approaches. Looks like Ling Speed is done for the unranked player, so he may actually be able to shut down these Adepts, but they're actually standing pretty well in this choke point. They derp a little bit. Looks like they will shade towards the natural. Gonna grab at least 1 or 2 more drones before they head on out to the afterlife. Looks like that was all in all 7 drones for 3 Adepts. Not a bad trade for AlphaStar, but there is the Dark Shrine follow-up. I might have to start trying to add this build to my PvZ, as AlphaStar is just super duper good with it. Ling's gonna start battering on this wall for AlphaStar. I mean, an Adept or something can always be taken care of. The Prism gonna head towards the main base. Looks like Queens are already getting into position. This is quite good for the unranked player. Oh, this is actually very good, but AlphaStar turns around on the ball. Looks like that Prism gonna start to warp in a few more Adepts. So 4 Adepts in this Prism gonna be enough to maybe scare the unranked player. But in reality, the unranked player should be fearing the charge lots, fearing the Dark Templar follow-up. We see a Spine Crawler going up, worrying about Adepts, or most likely about Adepts. But the DT follow-up could be all that AlphaStar needs to win this game. I mean, there isn't any detection for the unranked player yet. Adepts are causing drones to run around. They're buying so much time, making the mind of the unranked player turn to goo. that is not capable of dealing with these DTs, which are going to be warping in 3 3 Zealots and a DT heading towards the main base, and that's just going to be it. There's already 1 DT in the main, so that is AlphaStar wrecking yet another Zerg. Ladies and gentlemen, slap that like button. Follow me on Twitter. I post some interesting things sometimes. Join the Discord, as everyone's kind of pumped in there for the minute because of the viewer tournament. And then, yeah, like and subscribe. Press that bell icon to get notified whenever I put up a new video. I'll see you next time. This has been LaughNgamez.